So let's take a look inside the pulver house of birds, because it has not been a brilliant breeding season so far. It's the end of May, last week in May, and lockdown has been suspended for the midsummer portion, so until sort of mid-August, end of August. But if we go through the budgie flight, what I've done is I've done something different this year. So whilst the lockdown is suspended, that means that the bob hole here is open all the time. It's not closed on a night, unless there's gale force winds, of course. So they can come in and out as they please. And I'm trying something new. I'm seeing if they will respond to nest boxes in the flights, which I've never done before. And I've got two. I've got one over there and one down here, and you'll also see that I'm sick to death of these things falling off and breaking eggs and things like that. So I now rely on wire rather than sort of string, because the birds eat through the string. So you can see that I've actually attached it with a wire sort of connection there. See the wire connection there? I've also seen if they will respond to one on the ground, and the reason I've done that is will become evident when I go inside and I show you what's happened there. So these are the new nest boxes, and we'll see what happens with them. Now, if I go through to the inside, to the bird rooms and the enclosures, I have to go through the budgie flight, so they're going to all shuffle themselves out. There we are. You'll see what's going on in here. So there's two nest boxes there. Now, one nest box is relatively new and nobody's done anything in it yet. The next nest box along here was society finches. Now, they've been sitting on 3 eggs forever. They haven't hatched, and finally Bob and Tricia have given up on that. So those eggs are now void and I can get rid of them. This was the site of Beryl's nest. Beryl and Martin had 2 live chicks. Nothing in there at the moment. 2 live chicks were hatched, but they both died. Beryl didn't feed them. This nest box, not sure whose that belongs to. There are a load of eggs. They are relatively new, so I'm going to see what happens with them. Down here, no activity in that one. And now we move to the reason why I'm putting the one out there on the floor. So this nest box fell. It fell from here. The eggs did not break, and so the birds continued to sit on them. Not sure who the mother is, but Damasio is the father, and Damasio is actually a second generation, which is interesting. One of his eggs hatched, and I'm going to see if the baby is still there. Shall we have a look? Do we see a baby? Not looking good. Not looking good, is it? Can we see a baby in there? Doesn't look like it. The baby might have died. I'll have to have a check on that in a minute. But basically, they kept the incubation up when the nest box had fallen on the floor. Birds are not supposed to do that because they are not supposed to feel safe enough to have nesting on the floor. But I have a problem with these birds, and that is that they do tend to nest on the floor. If we go down here, can you see in there? Can you see eggs in there? Well, there are eggs in there. That is a makeshift nest. Some stupid bird, there we are, you can clearly see eggs now. Some stupid bird has decided that she's going to nest on the floor. Don't know who it is. Not awfully happy with that. Not awfully happy about that at all. I'm waiting to see whose it belongs to before I destroy it. Anyway, so I'm hoping that this is going to breathe a little bit of life into this place, because we've usually all mating pairs have usually had clutches by now, and the clutches are it's usually their second clutch by this point of the year, and we're having the first chicks starting to survive, so a little bit concerned.